Hello and welcome to CRE with CBC Worldwide. My name is Ashley Wilson and you're listening to Market Tales. Today we are in Palm Desert, California, and we are talking to Steve and Michael Lyle of CBC Lyle and Associates. Hi fellas, how you doing today?
Doing great.
Doing wonderful, thank you.
Awesome, I love that. Now I've heard so much about your company, but I don't know any of your stories. So that's why we're here today, is to dig into how commercial real estate became the family business. Can you share that story with me?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in 1979, I'm 19 years old. I'm parking cars at Zelda's nightclub, a famous nightclub in Palm Springs. Celebrities, basketball stars, Will Chamberlain. We had a wonderful clientele. And at 19, I figured out how to get the best tips, being parking cars. Telling the clients that came in with the finest cars, I'm going to put your car right up front, take good care of it. When I see you coming down the staircase from the nightclub, I'll have your car right up front with the doors open ready for you. And so, it was above average that I did compared to most parking attendants because I really was working for the most tips. And one gentleman came in 3 nights in a row with a nostalgic older car. And it was on the third night that he said to me, you've got a good personality for sales. And I'm opening a real estate company in Palm Springs. Would you consider coming to interview with me and maybe taking a job in commercial and in residential real estate, and I'll train you? And I said yes. And then he did train us, even to the point of we had a fake telephone, and he would say, okay, here comes an ad call. Let's put you on, see how you handle it. Nope, you didn't do good. Try this. And the training really worked. And I got successful very quickly, and then sold my parking concession and went full-time into residential real estate. And then after 4 years, I interviewed with a commercial real estate broker, and he hired me and taught me commercial real estate. And from there, I just stuck around now. 45 years I've been doing this, and I still love it. And then, Mike, how did you get into it?
So obviously it was the family business, and my mother also worked in commercial property management, my father doing sales and leasing. And I decided straight out of high school to start working with my dad. I was fairly certain that that's what I wanted to do in life, but it didn't take me very long to realize that I, possessed the sales skills to be able to pursue a career in commercial real estate, and I've been very successful. It was actually my father who told me that straight out of high school that no college will teach you sales. You either have it or you don't have it, and luckily I have it. So
the gift of gab.
Right, that's exactly what it is, the gift of gab. That's perfect. I love the way you said that. Well, y'all are in Palm Desert, California. So tell me about your market, any kind of current trends and developments that are going on right now.
Yeah. So our market consists of 9 cities and Indian reservations. And the population in the 9 cities is just a hair under 500,000. We're considered a tertiary market. And what's interesting about that is that the big cities that are a couple hours away, when those brokers come to our tertiary market, they can't perform as well as we can here locally. And so, for example, we move people from one city to another. They may call us on Palm Springs, but then we tell them about Palm Desert, and we show them both cities, and we're more successful, especially with the cities in between, Cathedral City, Rancho Mirage, Indian Wells, the smaller cities, that all our listings, we get action on them. And then the brokers from out of town, they don't perform as well. So we get a lot of listings, we keep our listings. An example is a building in downtown Palm Springs that about 35 years ago, we did a newsletter for downtown Palm Springs. It worked. The Liebling building, it's called us and said, I like your newsletter. Come talk to us about leasing and management. Now, here we are 35 years later. Finally, the three families that own the building are selling it. We're going to close escrow in a little over a week, 14.1 million. And the agent, Rob Winthold, that does so much leasing there, he's sharing in the sale listing. He deserves it. And I'm involved in that listing. And so, it's just all these years of working our market that we've become number one. And we're generalists. Mike, talk about that we don't focus on one product type in our little market because it makes more sense to be a generalist when you're in a small market.
Exactly. Unlike secondary or primary markets, we really do have to generalize and focus in multiple directions to really, be successful as we are. So we do focus on pretty much every product type. We do sales, leasing. We focus on hotels, restaurants, retail, office, industrial, land. We do ground up development.
Business opportunities. Everything.
Figured there was a few I'm missing there because we really do generalize and do just about everything.
And you never know, each year or quarter, what's going to be the product type that is moving.
Exactly.
And, lately, a lot of restaurant deals. We love the restaurant deals. They're fun. They pay bigger commissions. Restaurant leases, most of them are 10 years. And the rents are high. It adds up. The leasing commissions are great. And a sale we just yesterday got to experience some really good feelings was Billy Reed's restaurant. It sold for $6.5 million, two components, two different escrows. The real estate, $5.5 million. The business, $1 million. And the business escrow is closing in a couple days because of liquor license approvals that they take longer. But we know how to deal with liquor licenses. That's the kind of thing that scares some commercial agents from being involved in restaurant deals is, well, there's some different things about them. It's not that complicated. And so I recommend to all Coldwell Banker commercial offices across the country, take a close look at restaurants as a product type that you should consider because the commissions are larger and the people are nicer that you deal with. Investors are a little tougher.
Yeah.
Restaurant people, they're just a pleasure to deal with. Then after the restaurant opens or there's a new owner, you go in and you have lunch or dinner and the owner comes up and pats you on the back and it feels good.
Yeah.
And it continues to feel good. Even many years later, they remember us, the ownership that, hey, you helped me make this happen. Look how well we're doing. Here we are 10 years later.
Which leads to referrals when the clients are very pleased with you. And in the case of Billy Reed's, because it was such an iconic restaurant of 50 years, we actually got asked by the local news to do an interview as well, which should lead to some additional business as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, we went to congratulate buyers and sellers just yesterday. They were both there. And then here came the local NBC News filming. And we didn't get on the newscast personally, but we watched our seller be interviewed and so happy. He was 84 years old. It was time to sell the restaurant. And but we got top dollar. We got the right buyers. They're going to continue on with the Billy Reed's name. And they're going to add a speakeasy, which everybody's excited about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds really fun.
Yeah.
Now, do either of you have experience in the hospitality industry other than valeting? Have y'all ever worked in a restaurant?
I have, as a matter of fact. My first probably 4 years of working in the business, I worked in restaurants at night as a server until I was able to go full-time commission only.
Yeah. So you
That's
understand,
a great way
like,
to start.
Absolutely. Because
Yeah.
you know, talking about the gift of gab, what better place to practice it than at a restaurant?
Exactly.
You know, and then you start to get
Exactly.
a read on people too, reading those tables, reading the
Exactly.
expressions. Yeah.
And doing fine dining serving as well, which it as you mentioned, it helps be able to practice the gift of gab of explaining the detailed specials and being able to understand all the ingredients and being able to explain a high end wine and yeah,
And recommend what wine goes with what dish.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that probably translates really well when you're talking to a client and having to break things down for them and to explain different parts of the transaction or so I'm seeing a lot of similarities between the two. Um, so
Exactly.
you already kind of answered the next question, which is about a time that you won the business, and it was because of that newsletter. So I kind of want to learn more about that. Do you still send out newsletters pretty frequently for your company?
In fact, Mike and I are working on two new newsletters right now. One is for hotels, and we're going to focus on boutique hotels in Palm Springs because the interesting thing about boutique hotels is, first of all, they pay the commissions in full without negotiating so hard. They're not the challenging corporate types, they're mom and pops that thought, oh, a boutique hotel is a great business, that it's a lifestyle business, and they have the money to buy a small hotel. And maybe it was 2, 3, 4, 5 million to buy their small hotel. But after a number of years, they realize, wow, this is hard work. And honey, talking to their spouse, we're not traveling like we used to because we're so committed to this hotel. And it's kind of like when you do a boutique hotel, you get married to it and you say, I do. And so we've learned that the turnover is consistent with boutique hotels.
Yeah.
So we're doing a newsletter. And what makes the newsletter work that we figured out is we break the city up into 7 neighborhoods or corridors. And then we compare each corridor and we say to them on the cover, what's your hotel worth in your location, in your neighborhood? And they can't resist looking at, well, what are the sales comps for boutique hotels in my neighborhood versus the others? So, like the tennis club area next to downtown Palm Springs, bar hopping zone. Well, it's number one. And those hotels do sell for more per room than anywhere else in Palm Springs. And they have the best occupancy because people love to walk to the bar hopping zone and then stumble back to the hotel room. And so, yeah, the newsletter, we're just certain it's going to bring us more business. And we have a new agent that we hired that's going to be going to visit all the boutique owners. And he'll either talk to the manager or the owner who's ever there, and we'll get the information to send them quarterly an updated newsletter. The other newsletter we're working on is restaurants. And we're just on a roll with restaurants right now.
Yeah, this is a newsletter that is not a new one. This is a continuance of the same newsletter that we've been doing for some time now. It's called the Restaurant Bar Insider for the entire Coachella Valley.
What's great about the restaurant newsletter, and we come up with something that is irresistible for restaurateurs, information that they'll look at and wow, that's interesting. And what we came up with for restaurants is we ranked all 9 cities based on what was reported to the tax administration office for food and beverage sales in each city. And what's interesting about that is, so now you walk into Cathedral City into a restaurant. Well, where are they on the list of 9? They're number 5. That you see their sales don't compare to Palm Desert and Palm Springs, 1 and 2 in the Coachella Valley. And so we say to these restaurateurs, have you considered a second location by chance? Because here's the 2 cities they've got the highest sales, food and beverage. So you can grab your piece. It's the sales are there. And And then, of course, we walk into Palm Springs. Right, actually, it's Palm Desert just took over as number one. Oh, look, Palm Springs. How about jumping across the valley to the other city that is at the top of its game with restaurant sales? But that's how we get their attention with the newsletter. We do include all our current listings, sold comps so that they can see data because they can't resist learning, well, what are restaurants worth? This is a very important asset of mine. My family is at the top of the list of importance. What's next? My biggest assets. That's what people really think about. And so, yeah, the newsletters are a winner. And the out-of-town brokers, they can't compete with us with our local newsletters.
And the data that we have by doing all or most of the deals, especially with restaurants, we simply just dominate that marketplace.
Yeah.
The data that you have, is that in-house data that you're getting from just current deals that you've done, like a success rate of how many deals you've done, or are you referring to like the tax data as well? So what all do you include?
The tax data.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's what's reported to the tax man. And nobody can argue that that's not important information. What are the food and beverage sales in your city versus the neighboring city? And these are small cities that are right next to each other in a row. So it's not like a Palm Springs resident won't go to Cathedral City or Rancho Mirage or Palm Desert for a good restaurant meal. They will.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah.
Nice. Well, it sounds like there's a lot of growth happening in those areas. So thinking at your market, not, it doesn't have to be especially specific, but just overall, what do you think is going to happen in the next 12 to 18 months there in Palm Springs, Palm Desert area?
So we believe our local market will continue to be very strong because there's no distress in any of the product types except one, and it's cannabis. And cannabis isn't important to us. So when it comes to office, for example, in many cities, office is very distressed, not in our desert. Here's an example. The Bucksbaum family from Chicago, major property owners in the United States, they just bought their first property in California. What did they choose? A Palm Desert office building for $27 million. That is the finest office building in the desert. And then we asked them, why did you come to California and pick Palm Desert first? And they said, well, look at your market. Nobody's built an office building in over 10 years. And we paid $295 a foot to buy this building. We're getting rents of $225 or so triple net monthly rents. Who can build a new building and compete with us? And it's just going to be solid. And so now they've owned it for just a few months. And sure enough, Morgan Stanley is renewing their lease. Edward Jones is negotiating now for a space. Our restaurant that's in the middle of the two office buildings, we have 4 offers for leasing a 7,500 square foot restaurant. And, these restaurants are going to pay a big rent. It's going to be a 10-year lease. It's going to be a very nice fee, not to mention Edward Jones, Morgan Stanley, and all those. But isn't that interesting that such a sharp family that owns so much real estate chose office as the product they wanted in California for their first purchase? And it just speaks loudly to our marketplace is not distressed. And so,
Absolutely.
yeah, we're getting top dollar for our sellers, and we're getting very good leases for our landlords.
It's a great example, and major growth that we're seeing within the Coachella Valley as well, with development of multifamily and including the Acrisure Arena 12,000 seat stadium with a AHL hockey team and the Disney Cotino residential and commercial project and many, many more.
Yeah, lots of entertainment.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is we're a 2-hour drive from Los Angeles, from San Diego, from Orange County. And so people, they don't want to drive to Las Vegas anymore. We even have casinos, and we have a lot of casinos, Indian casinos. And so our 2-hour driving distance, people feel they got away from their big cities. They got off the freeways up next to the mountains. And this Coachella Valley is just going to thrive. And that's why Disney picked the Rancho Mirage. They picked Rancho Mirage to do their first story living project. Is that what it's called?
Story Living by Disney.
Yeah. And that's amazing that they picked our area to do this mega project with 2,000 homes, shops, dining, a 12-acre lagoon. So
It's very impressive.
yeah.
Yeah, that sounds very impressive. Sounds like I need to make a trip there. That sounds like a wonderful
That's not what you
space.
do.
Yeah.
You
Yes,
do
oh,
need to make a trip here. It's a great place.
Yeah. I will definitely let you know when I do. Well, as we start to close out, I would like for y'all to tell me what are the 3 words that you want everyone to remember when they hear Palm Desert.
El Paseo, our Beverly Hills Rodeo Drive shopping district.
Okay.
That, Palm Desert has that. Now, Palm Springs is where the vibe is with the bar hopping.
Okay.
And so if you want to have some fun with entertainment and bar hopping, and wow, that's the city to go to.
Okay.
And if you want to come for golf and tennis and things like that, well, we've got the Indian Wells Tennis Gardens. We have 120 plus golf courses. There's so much to do in the Coachella Valley. And you'll come back again and again once you start to experience it.
So 3 words when you think of Palm Desert, it's Palm Springs, golf and entertainment, if I had to sum that up. So thanks, guys, for hopping on the podcast and chatting with me today. You both certainly have the gift of gab to the point where maybe y'all should start your own podcast there locally. I think that would be really fun for everyone. And
We've definitely thought about it.
yeah, you really? Okay. Well, if you do, let us know, because I will definitely follow you and take a listen. And I think it's really inspiring that y'all are a family business that continues to help other family businesses, thrive, follow their passions, whether it's boutique hotels or restaurants. I mean, they truly trust you, and y'all are rooted in your community there, and it truly shows. So thank you for that. And for all of my listeners out there, if you want to pick their brains about restaurants, these are your 2 guys to check out. So make sure you look up Lyle & Associates on cbcworldwide.com, connect with them. Hopefully, fellas, I will see you at our global conference in March. Stay tuned for when we're going to make that announcement next month in September to find out where we're going to be in 2027. So again, if you like the podcast, please remember to share it with everyone else. And fellas, thank you so much for your time today. And it's been a pleasure.
Thank you. We enjoyed it.
Yes, thank you.